Hello everybody, good morning. We've been thinking around Psalm 23 last week and again this week. If I repeat myself, I don't make any apology for it. I love Psalm 23. I spend a lot of time thinking around it. It's such a touching and human psalm. I enjoy the realism of it. The psalmist speaks of God, the shepherd. My shepherd, leading him into green pastures and beside still waters, a place of renewal and restoration, because that is what God does. He really does watch over us. But life isn't all green pastures and still waters, much as we might want it to be so. Life also can turn, and before we know it, we're walking through the valley of the shadow of death. That is strictly not the best translation of those words from the Hebrew. Probably it's more accurate to say, though I walk through the darkest valleys, which extends it way beyond just the shadow of death. Though I walk through a valley of deepest darkness, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. I reckon we can face almost anything in life if we know that God is with us. And He is, because He is the Good Shepherd. Yes, like sheep of old, as they entered into those shadowy valleys, they were nervous, and probably they bleated their anxieties, their fears, but they heard the voice of the shepherd out in front, and they were assured. Jesus speaks about my sheep hear my voice. And sometimes it's really difficult when the darkness settles on us, simply just to stop and listen and to hear the shepherd saying, I'm with you. Keep walking. Keep walking. And the psalmist says, and I'm going to do that because you, Lord, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I'm always reminded of those words when I pick this staff up, your rod and your staff. Now I imagine the 15th chapter of Luke and that story of the lost sheep taking place with the shepherd holding one of these. The sheep is lost. The shepherd is looking, he's calling, and then for a moment he's quiet as he waits for a response. And then in that stormy night, above the thunder and the rain, he hears a bleat, he hears a cry, and he listens and he goes after that sheep until he finds it. Maybe it's just gone over a cliff edge, and there it is, stuck a meter or two below him. And so he takes this and with great strength and courage he leans over and he begins to pull it with this, and eventually is able to bring it back to himself, and he places it on his shoulder and he goes home with a frightened, maybe even injured sheep. But the sheep is safe. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Such is God. I love the notion of the voice, the still small voice of the Good Shepherd. Listen. Take time to listen today and be aware of the staff of God that is around you, for He really loves you. I wouldn't be standing here saying that if I did not believe that with all my heart. God be with you.